Alright guys, welcome to the next lecture. So when you first open up Unity, you will see something like this. You will see the screen divided into several sections, into several spaces. The first space is going to be on the left right here. Here you will see something called the sample scene, and this is really where you see the different scenes and the objects inside different scenes. Right now we only have one scene, and the only object within that scene is called main camera. Let's not care about what it really means for now. Let's just acknowledge that we have this section to the left. And scenes are basically different portions of the game. So for example, you might have a scene for your menu where you can basically choose, okay, let's start a new game, let's select this level, and then you might have another scene for the actual game itself. So you divide your game in different scenes, and then you can change scenes depending on what happens in the game. And then each scene will have a bunch of objects. But we will get into that in future lectures. So that is this hierarchy section on the left. As you can see, it's called hierarchy right here, and this is the name of the section. The section on the top right here is divided really into three parts. You have the top section on the left here, and then you have top section in the middle right here, and then you have the top section on the right here. So let's just ignore this section on the right for now and go to the middle. So in the middle you can see that we have three buttons. We have play, pause, and step. And this basically means that we can run our game by clicking on play button right here. As you can see, our game right now is just a blue screen. Nothing really happens. We can pause our game by clicking on pause, and then we can use the step function to go one step at a time forward in our game logic, but let's not do that right now. So later on, when we will be building our game, we will be using these buttons right here to run and test how our game looks like right now, and then we can pause in the middle of the game. Maybe we want to check out how the objects look like at some point in the game, then we can pause it, and that's basically it. So that is why you have these buttons. And then here on the left you have the different tools. So this is basically for manipulating and transforming the different objects within each scene. So as you can see, we can move stuff, we can rotate stuff, we can change size of stuff. So it's all about later on when we will be having, for example, our character, and we want to make our character bigger or larger or smaller, or we want to move him, we'll be using these tools right here to the left. So this is what the top section is all about. Then here at the bottom you will have another section, and here at the bottom is all about the assets. I mean, for example, right now we only have the scene, the sample scene, and this is what we have opened up because we have it right here. If we have another scene, we will see it here as well, and then we can open another scene up by clicking on it. Later on we will have our images here as well. We will have all kinds of different assets in this folder right here, and also we will have code in this folder as well. So later on we will be scripting this game, and we will be putting our source code in this asset folder. And if you switch tab here, you get to the console, and the console is really, it really matters later on when we actually have some kind of code, because when we have code, we might want to debug it, meaning that we want to print some values to the console and see how the code behaves. And this is a way for us to see what the code is doing if we can print things to the console. But let's not care about it for now, but just acknowledge that you have two different tabs right here. And the one we will be paying most attention to, at least in the beginning, is the one called project. And here you will see the folder structure, like the assets and the packages. The packages, let's not care about them for now. It is basically when you install new features into your Unity game, you will install a new package. So for example, let's say that we want to install a new camera handling system so that we can have cool camera in our game, which we will be doing, by the way, later on. Then we will be downloading a package, and this package will contain functionality, some extra functionality, and the package will be put here, and then we can use it in our code that will be put within assets. But do not get too confused. Do not get frustrated if it sounds too complex right now, because you will understand later on. Once again, Unity is pretty easy. That is the thing. If you've done some programming before, or if you've done game development before outside of Unity, you will understand how easy this thing is. It's really not a complicated program. And then finally we have the section on the right here. It's called inspector, and in the inspector you can basically see the different features of different objects. So if we select an object, for example main camera, right here in the hierarchy, we will see that, okay, we can change the color of this thing. Let's change it to, you know, green or something. Or we can change how the clipping plane, really how far and how near can this camera see, depending on how much stuff we have in our scene. I mean, how much zoomed in should the camera be? We can see the viewport. We can see all kinds of different things about the camera. But if we would have some other object, some other type of object, then the features here would be different, and we would be changing different things. But for now, just think of this as this section where we can change different variables and different settings for the different objects that we will be having in our scene later on. And a very important button right here is called Add Component. We will be using this button a lot, and this basically means that we can add predefined components to our object, and later on you will see examples of it. But one of the most clear examples is, for example, code. If we have camera right here, we have main camera, an object here, and then we want to script it, we want to add some custom logic that we will be programming in order to connect this object to the actual script, to the actual code. You will be using add component, and then you will be writing script. Let's see, script. New script right here, and then you will be able to create your script through this. So this is something that we will be using in the future. All in all, guys, this is how Unity looks like. Do not be scared. I mean, I understand it might look dangerous. it might look like something very, very scary, but at the end of the day, it's very easy, guys. You will understand everything. And that being said, I will see you in the next lecture.